we going to go back here? We going to go back here? Is that where we're going? You better get on the train now, buddy. Get those tickets. Get that window seat. You going back? You go 82-0, you should get an automatic pass to go to the finals. I don't know what to tell you, Ryan. New rule. Get that to Adam Silver. You don't lose a game in the regular season, you should go to the finals. Cavs look like a finals team. What a win again. I keep trying to tell myself, like, that's all right. We'll lose one eventually. It's no big deal. This team keeps saying, nah, man, we're going to keep this rolling. In games back and forth, they get into it. You hit some clutch shots. We couldn't buy a bucket late in that game, but then Ty freaking Jerome, George Niang, the bench guys show up. Yeah, ho-hum, 36 from Donovan Mitchell. He seems to be back. Cavs continue to roll, man. This team, do they have it? Do they have it? What am I talking about? I'm talking about games where you have every right to lose. That you look at the Bulls last night and say, all right, this is where they pull away from us. Why does Kobe White always stick it up our butt? Every time we play him, he goes off. But nonetheless, the Cavs, one of the things that I'm talking about with they weather storms and they come back on your ass. They do it. And man, they had every reason to be like, you know what? This is a great streak. It's all right. They're getting hot there late in the game, whatever. The pace was insane early to start. And the Cavs find a way to get a win last night to keep the streak going. We'll talk about that. Sam Amico, 9:30 coming up. I can't wait to talk to Sam about where the Cavs are at right now. Yeah, business decisions. I got a lot to unpack about Jed Wills coming up. And I'm going to go against the grain of some of the things that I've heard and read and seen about some of the people this morning. I frankly don't think it's that big of a deal. I think he chose his words very poorly. And he's a guy that's no longer a factor on this team. That happens, all right? We'll dive more into the Jed Wills situation coming up. Jameis, your starter for now from Kevin Stefanski yesterday. We'll get geared up for the Saints. A little baseball to sprinkle in. The schedule is out for Juan Soto. I did not see the Guardians on that schedule. But some other moves for the Guardians to make this offseason as we roll on. Important day 2 for the grid. We'll get to time up. We got the bracket. It's a 2 for Tuesday. We got it all on a Victory Tuesday for the Cavs right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. Good morning. Happy to have you alongside. You can always follow her on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. YouTube page is at Big Play. We're also up on Instagram there. Check us out on Twitch and I can't say new anymore. It's just the great Big Play app. It's not necessarily new anymore, but it's there. All of our shows are there. All of our content is there. Very soon you'll be able to stream our show live there on the Big Play app, so download that for Roku and, of course, the iOS app as well. Getting over to Android, presented by our great friends at Fairway Ford. We'll tell you about them coming up in just a little bit. But Cavs, wow. Wow. Boy, you didn't like my Kobe White comment there?
No,
he
I mean,
always shows up against us, man. He only had 20.
Yeah.
But he had some dagger threes. That game was like a track meet to start. Good night to have well, see, here's the thing. You only closed at 132 after you were at 67 and 66 points at halftime. I thought we were on our way to a blowout, and it slowed down after that. But the waves and the emotions of that game, my thing when I say the Cavs, and I don't want to post this our 2 for Tuesday, but like, do they have it? And what I'm talking about is games like that where they impose their will. They just needed a bucket to go, and they went ice cold in that third quarter, and then they had a slow stretch there in the fourth quarter. But then they got some buckets from Jerome and Niang, and like you open things back up. Freaking Donovan Mitchell, man. I don't say logo, but it was damn close. Step back threes, that spin move, they just got to cook it. And what I like about it with the Cavs, I don't feel like they fear anybody, Ryan. Like, I guess if I had to succinctly say what I think it is, I don't think they fear anyone. And I want to talk to Sam about that at 9:30, about the schedule you have played. Are the Bulls a good team? Not necessarily. Like, they were missing Lonzo. He's been out. But you got max effort. You know when the Cavs are playing some of these other teams, they're going to get your best shot because they want to end the streak, and they're showing up. And I love the resiliency that I see from this Cavs team. Ryan, they step on the floor every single night believing that they should, not can, or they believe they should and will win every time they step out on that court. Even on off nights, so to speak, like Jared Allen wasn't everything that you expect last night, but you still found a way to win that game. That's what I'm talking about with it. When I like what I see with this Cavs team, it's a belief that every time they step on the floor, they're winning. They're going to win. And you're led by your superstar. You know, you heard after the game, Donovan Mitchell was asked about Darius Garland. And he said, dude, look at this guy's last year, right? Got poked in the eye, broke his jaw, family situation. But before the year before that, what did Donovan say? He's hooping. The confidence that I think they have in their team as well. The confidence that you have in a guy like Ty Jerome to step in key moments and get buckets when you need them. It's a complete team, man. It's a complete team. And when you have that, led by a star, with good role players and a belief, that's a powerful team. And a lot of it comes back to who? Kenny Atkinson. And I feel like an idiot. I do often. I was one that's like, oh, man, maybe JB should stick around, and I like JB Bickerstaff. This was clearly the move that was needed to shake this up, and look at the benefits. Look at where you're sitting right now. You're a fifth of the way to 60 wins. Think of that. 60 wins? That's a 1 seed in the East, and you're a fifth of the way there. And again, we know that there will be a time that it doesn't necessarily go the Cavs' way. But what they've built up, and especially now, it continues to open up that it's you and the Celtics. That's it. Everybody else is kind of fighting for third place. Keep that gap. I'll take a top 2 seed with this Cavs team right now. And, dude, I am just so impressed. They continue to find ways to win, and they just have a belief that they're going to beat you. Even when they go on runs, you came back, a bench lineup. Not a starter in there, and we go on a 9-0 run to get the Cavs back in the game. You won that game last night because of George Niang and Ty Jerome. And again, I'm selling Donovan Mitchell's 36 points short. But that 9-0 run, you don't go on that. I think Kenny thinks about, all right, man, this isn't our night, and let's rest some of our guys. That's not what happened. That's not at all what happened. And the schedule has been favorable for the Cavs. Not too many back-to-backs. I know it's going to get a lot tougher as we go. But that win last night, just mark it again. Every time this team plays, they have a belief that they can win, and they are.
You know, man, I was thinking about this on my ride here. I remember last year we talked a lot about, can you win an NBA championship with your best player being Donovan Mitchell? And
right.
I said no.
Yeah.
You said yes.
Yeah.
You said you could. I said no. And it's 12 games. We're yet to play a team like the Celtics, but whatever. I mean, you're 12-0. You're 12-0. That's not a joke. I mean, was I dead wrong?
No, I mean, I get where you're coming from because, I mean, it's kind of twofold in the NBA, right? What we first need to do is qualify a star player. Now, we had the greatest basketball player ever on our team for a long time. That's a high mark, okay? But if you recalibrate, Donovan Mitchell, in my opinion, is a top 10 player in the NBA right now, at worst. And right now, I think he might be a top 5 player. The thing that kind of gets you is, and maybe I remember the debate that we had, a discussion we had about this. Can you do it with a guard? You know, if Donovan Mitchell was playing this way as a 6'7" wing,
right,
you might feel a little bit different. You maybe even feel a little bit better. So you're kind of zigging while the rest of the league zags the fact that you have guards. You're a guard-dominated team. Why I said they could with Donovan was that they had the next wave of guys that I believed, Evan Mobley, and I didn't believe in Darius Garland. I do now. And I believe now in Jared Allen. Then you add a bench, you add a lot of different role players. So that's my reasoning, yes. And the other thing we got to remember, and what does play out more often than not in the playoffs, it's not the star players. It is the other guys that will get you there. Yeah, crunch moments, get that ball to Donovan Mitchell and get the hell out of the way, right? That's important things, but you got to remember it's the rest of the team that will get you there. It's like a quarterback in the NFL. I think you're wasting your time in the NBA unless you have a star franchise player. And they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes. Teams then have to build around that. But you don't even get to the starting line without Donovan Mitchell. And why that signing that he did this offseason, John Michael said on the broadcast last night, that franchise-altering move in a positive way that Donovan signed here, that gets you to the starting line. Then we're off to this great start with Donovan leading the way. But don't forget that come May and come June, when you really need it, it is going to be some of these other guys. It is going to be big shots from Karras and Ty Jerome and Sam Merrill and George Niang. And that's why I love that these guys are getting minutes now, and all they're doing is building confidence. I want to get back to the era of basketball that we walked on a floor on any given night and felt like we should win. That was fun times. And it's not always going to go your way. But the fact that this team is... Ryan, if I'm sitting here exuding this confidence, how do you think they feel in that locker room? They got to feel like everything's clicking. And the other thing that I really love is that inevitably, you are going to hit a rough patch. But the fact that you have built such a strong foundation and a strong base for this team to look at one another and say, I've got confidence in these guys. I can look to these guys to make plays. For Donovan Mitchell to have to say, it doesn't have to all be on me. Now, again, there's going to be nights I'm going to go off for 36. I'm going to hit some deep threes and do a spin-a-Rooney move to go up and get it done. Shout out to Booker T. And get it done. You're going to need that. That just is the start. But what Kenny Atkinson has done, it's always so funny, too, to see Kenny. He sits on the bench more than any coach I think I've ever seen. When they pan to him, and even last night, oh, my God, who's the head coach? Billy Donovan, right? Billy Donovan, the coach of the Bulls?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not, who's the guy there before? Not McDermott.
Oh, God. Well,
oh, my God,
Thibodeau
I can picture
there.
his face. Oh, my God.
Was this after Thibodeau?
Yeah. Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, the
college guy that came up. Billy Donovan is too, but the other guy. Oh, Christ. I don't want to look it up. I want to guess, but I'm never going to be able to. Fred Hoiberg. That's it. I would never have gotten that. Fred Hoiberg. That's it. Fred Hoiberg. Was he Creighton? You know where he is now? Nebraska. That's right. No, Iowa State. Iowa State was Fred Hoiberg. That's right. McDermott was Creighton. That's what I was thinking of.
No, it says he served at. Yeah, he's at Nebraska now.
He's at Nebraska now. Yeah, he's at Nebraska. Fred Hoiberg is what I was thinking of. But anyway, I was watching like Billy Donovan, and a lot of coaches are up. Every time they pan to Kenny Atkinson, he's just sitting on the bench. I'm not knocking it. I just think it's really funny. And then did you see Darius's face when he got that tack? He was like, oops, I know that was me. Stepped out on the court. It's all good. You got it over. But what he's been able to do to empower these guys and believe in these guys, I love it. I thought about this for our 2 for Tuesday.
Oh, it is Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. I have my Browns question. We got to throw out the window. We got to talk Jed Wills here in a minute. Is it Eastern Conference Finals or bust for the Cavs?
Well, yeah, but here's the thing.
So it's a good question. You gotta think about it.
But the only reason I don't like that question is because it even before the season started, it was Eastern Conference or bust.
That? All right.
Because that's what Kobe Altman signaled to the fan base, to the what he signaled.
Then let's ask the question: do you think the Cavs are going to the finals? We're 12 games into this, and people might be saying, "Oh, let's not talk about that." Why do you think I wore this shirt today, Ryan? I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I
you should
see
be.
it. I see a team that I look at, and I see a lot of
you
the
don't start
comparisons.
12-0 and not have finals aspirations. That's not a thing. Yeah, of course.
I frame it the way you want.
Well,
it's kind of like the ultimate. Like, are you? I don't want to say buying this 12-game start. How can you not? Right. But it's like, do you project this? And I have this question for Ciamico. How far do you think this Cavs team is going to go?
Right. I mean, at this point, it should be no lesser than it's the Eastern Conference Finals, the NBA Finals should be represented by one or two teams in the East. It should be the Celtics or it should be the Cavaliers. I don't think there's any bones about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it should play out that way. Crazier things have happened. I'll leave it up to you. Do you see this changing how you viewed this season? Because I guess here's where I'm at. I was a little timid coming in where I was like, all right, we got to see how this works.
Of course you
And
were.
on the projection of, okay, you made the first round exit, second round exit. You would think, okay, the next step is obviously going to these conference. But like, I don't know if I really believed that at the beginning of the season. I wanted to. And now I'm like, dude, we're going to the finals. And it's tough. We have not played the Celtics yet. A 7-game series in the playoffs are much different. Understand that 1,000%. But it's like, do you think this has any bearing? Is this carrying any weight for you on what your projections are going to be for the Cavs moving forward?
Yeah. I'm thinking how to word it.
You think about how you word it. Think about how you word that. I want to put that up.
It's hard because I want to know what people think. Like, do you really believe you're better than the Celtics? And I can't fault you for saying yes, and I'm not sure how I feel yet. It's just
the cop out, and you haven't played him yet.
And they're without Kristaps. They're still 9-2, and you had the same roster as last year that you saw Boston completely outman you. But I'm not one to be naive and not realize what I'm seeing with my own eyes this season of how good they are.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, is this tangible? Is this stuff that you can really look at and make declarative statements
of? Do you believe the Cavs are going to the finals?
Yeah, that's fine. Do you believe the Cavs are going to the finals? Make that nice and easy. Yes or no on our first 2 for Tuesday. We'll post that up at Matt Fontana Show. Drops a file. Well, the next one we got to get to. Business decisions. Okay. And this is our second one, no question. Do you think the Jed Wills business decisions comment is a big deal or not? It's that simple. Do you think it's a big deal or not? Because I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you, I don't think it is, okay? You want to dive into, here's a former first-round pick that was supposed to be your franchise left tackle, got injured, now he doesn't want to play, all right? I got to be, maybe the reason that I'm not so surprised is some of the things that I hear about Jed Wills. And that's probably the best way that I can say that. It's probably the only way I'm going to be able to say that. He don't want to play here anymore. I think he used a bad phrase, okay? And I saw this from Ben Axelrod this morning on Awful Announcing. I think he's right. I think Jed said that, not understanding the real gravity of what he was saying and how people were going to react to it. If I wanted to slice it another way, what he was trying to say was, I was injured. I didn't feel like I was healthy enough to play, so I didn't play. That inherently is a bad message when the rest of these guys are out there fighting through injuries and you're tapping out. You're pulling an Anthony Richardson. You're tapping yourself out. You don't want to play anymore. The Browns handled this the best way that they could. They benched him. They didn't say anything about it, and they moved on. Now, Jed leaked and spilled the beans yesterday on exactly what had happened. I'm sure the Browns are sitting there saying, well, kind of wish that didn't happen, but they're not turning this into a circus. I understand the fans will and some media will too. I don't think this is a big deal. They will move on from Jed Wills at the end of the year. Was picking up that fifth-year option a giant mistake? Well, yes, very clearly so. But here we are. He's not going to play anymore, and we move on. I really do not see the big hubbub about this. Now, people want to say, oh, that's a mark of a dysfunctional football team. I counter that to say, I think they handled this right. They kept it in-house, and they benched his ass. He is only going to play if Conklin or DeJuan Jones gets hurt again. There's no point in cutting him right now. And in fact, cutting him right now gets him what he wants. Screw that. You better show up, and you might actually have to go back in there one time. It cements the fact he ain't going to be back here. You already paid him all that money. Move on. I really don't think this is a big deal. And again, I think part of the reason why I'm not so shocked is this kind of lives up to a lot of the things I've heard about Jedrick Wills. All right? And I'm not one to get on here and talk about guys in that light, about work ethic and things like that, because I'm not in practices. I'm not in the rehab room. I don't know what he does in the weight room. I just know things people have told me about him. All right? Here we are. And I think the Browns are actually handling this right. You're not going to play. You will leave here after the season. What is so dysfunctional about that? Yeah, we're 2-7. Would he have gone out there and played if we were 7-2? I don't know. But you got to understand, too, the importance of drafting these guys. Yeah, the physical tools are there. You have got to figure out the mental. Are these guys willing to make the sacrifice? What is the money going to do to them when they get it? What Jed kind of was saying was, I don't want to play because I'm trying to save some future contract that might be out there for it. Well, bro, you just took a hit on that anyway. He was playing bad when he was healthy. He didn't want to put himself out there when he was hurt to make himself look worse for a potential contract. Fine, you're done. You're done. Go in there and practice your swing tackle. You might go to right, you might go to left. We're done, and we're moving forward. I understand why people will grab onto it. And Ryan, I was frankly pretty happy that I clicked on ESPN this morning and I clicked on CBS and Sports Illustrated like I do every morning. None of them had on their the main page, the ticker. None of this wasn't even a story. Good. Because when the Browns were a dumpster fire and National loved just piling on, that would have been front page. Oh, here come the Browns again. Here come the crappy, dysfunctional Browns, and they got another player that doesn't want to be here anymore. I didn't see it. Tells you all you need to know. It's not a big deal.
I don't think it's a big deal either, and I don't think it's a sign of dysfunction by any means. It's just another example of just awful things happening for the Browns this season. It's another example of just this nightmare season of, and it goes back to Deshaun Watson, obviously. I mean, I'm not questioning his work ethic or whatever, but I mean, Jed Wills, yes, he's a bum. Like he's horrible.
He's just not good
when he's on the field.
It didn't work.
He's not good, but I mean, the only real thing that it comes back to, and listen, we can talk about this, maybe it's another conversation, but it just comes back to Andrew Berry. And I mean, it is what it is. It's another failed first-round draft pick. I know Andrew Berry hasn't had many. In fact, he's had 2 or 1?
He's only had 2 first-round picks to make.
And it's him and Newsome.
Yeah, that's it.
And one of them's a giant failure, and the other one is
okay. Yeah.
At best.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. And I mean, the thing is, that was a position, obviously it's a premier position, and people brought up the draft. You could have Tristan Wirfs, CeeDee Lamb was in the first round. I could play that game all day. All right. The best tackle, well, Tristan Wirfs probably. Andrew Thomas is already off the board, and he's really good. You didn't take Mekhi Becton. I wanted Mekhi Becton out of that thing. Where's he? He's playing guard now for Philly. Didn't even work out for the Jets. Like, that is the crapshoot that you're in. Now, the problem is, you're right. You put a focus on that because Andrew Berry has had so many few draft picks. The drafting is not what I'm bitching about. The 5th-year option is what I'm upset about. Because what you could have done was just re-sign him to a deal. These GMs on these 5th-year options, I watch the trends on that, by the way. Year over year, there's more that get declined. Because if you've got this like fringe guy and they're kind of in the middle and they could be good, they're not bad, they're right in the middle, you could do worse. Teams are just feeling, well, we got the 5th-year option, we better use it. No. What you could have done was sent Jed out there in that, again, we got to go back. This was before last year when you had to pick it up. Say, go out there, play your ass off, then we'll re-sign you. But they thought, we're going to get him on the cheap because if he skyrockets, then we're going to have to pay him even more money. Well, here you go. He got his money, and I'm just going to, I don't know Jedrick Wills, okay? I don't. And I don't have anger towards the man. I don't really care. You don't want to play football here anymore. You want to go somewhere else, fine, go ahead. Does he want to keep playing football?
And that's the question. And
is that something that if it
and unless you're dumb as a box of rocks, which I don't know the man, so maybe he is, maybe he isn't. That's not a comment you say if you want to continue to play football and you want to get another deal on another team.
Well, unless
that's
you're
not something
like
you say.
that, or just, dude, lie. The Browns know what really happened. You know what really happened. And he didn't have media availability. Shout out to the media. Another win for the Cleveland media, by the way. They went up to his locker and talked to him. Scott, Daryl, Mary Kay, they were all there. Scott asked him what happened. Lie. What happened, man? Well, I came out of that Bengals game. I was dealing with an injury. Wasn't ready to go. Oh, was that your decision or the team's decision? I wasn't ready to go. That's it. Well, then coach came out and said he was benched. Yeah, that's their decision. That's okay. I'm here to work. I'm here to do the best I can to help this team out. Done! You could tell. I was treading lightly with these comments. It's the same thing when Miles was talking about model citizen with Deshaun Watson. He got caught up. He was searching for words. That's the phrase that came out. And I didn't rip Miles for that phrase, and I'm not really ripping Jed Wills for this phrase. You could see he was trying to search to what to say. He said business decision because he's probably heard that somewhere and didn't understand what the connotation was going to be and how people were going to react to it. It's a mistake. And at the end of the day, is anybody really complaining that Jed Wills is not in your lineup right now? Probably not. Like, let's not make the mountain out of the molehill here. All right?
No one's complaining that he's not playing. They're just sick of him.
He'll be gone.
Yeah,
but there's so many players that have come through here that I go, man, I'm sick of that guy.
I know, but that's just another example.
But he'll play out the rest of the 8 games here. He'll be on the team.
It's just another example of somebody you're paying money to for them to not only not play for you, but for them to just be a straight detriment to your team.
But he's not. He's not.
When he's playing, he was.
When he's playing, sure, and he's not good right now. Maybe,
but
it's
this is the
because
thing. It's
hurt.
another guy. You're making a multimillionaire and handing him wealth so he can go off and do whatever he wants in the world just to be awful at his job.
In the NFL, that's the case.
I understand that, Matt. I get it. I get it. There's plenty of those examples. There's plenty of those examples, but it becomes a pattern when you're the one, you're the team, you're the Browns. When you have more players doing that than other teams.
I always remember this: in the 3 sports, baseball and basketball get you paid on what you've already done. You see guys in baseball and basketball that get insane deals, and you go, what is that? And you go, well, he had a career year, or he did this. Football is the one sport you get paid on your projection. You don't, and again, part of what you've done in the past is important. But when you see guys get these deals, it's because they're paying you on what they project. The Browns gave that 5th-year option on Jed Wills to project what they thought it was going to be, and that is blown up in their faces.
Okay, so whose evaluation is that? Is that strictly Andrew Berry's?
So the knock on, here's my Jed Wills thing.
Well, I'm very curious, Matt, because I'm very curious. What did Bill Callahan think?
There's another part of that, too.
What did Bill Callahan think? Did he tell them that he thought this guy was going to be good? Because there's no other opinion. Like Andrew Berry, there's no way that there's anybody's opinion he valued more than Bill Callahan's on Jed Wills. Well, so I want to know what he had to say about him.
So here's my thing on what I think they were thinking with Jed Wills, right? You have money tied up elsewhere. We all know why. And you can't pay money for elite positions. You can't pay everybody, right? There was a time that Jed Wills was a serviceable left tackle. Serviceable.
Browns love serviceable.
Now, that level, God, was it Lebitard? Somebody went off on a serviceable level, right? On what exactly does that mean? It means there are a lot of guys that are better than him, but there's a lot of guys that are worse than him. And you just plug him in there as a middle of the road. He'll probably get paid as a middle of the road guy. And I guess the saying is you could do a lot worse. Now, that doesn't make you feel good, right? That doesn't make you feel like, man, this is a guy we should really give all this money to. But I think that was probably the thinking. This is a premier position. We can maybe get this guy in a little bit of a deal. And you project that he's going to be better. Dude,
right, but at that point, it's like it's talent versus just will and work ethic. Like,
well, they know that. They knew that at the time. So maybe the injury changed everything. You talk to some players that say, man, I never dealt with injuries like this before. And I was the star player through high school, through college. I get to the pros. I'm a day one starter. Everything's going great. It's when the adversity hits. Sometimes you won't even know how you handle it until it actually comes, all right? And Jed has very clearly not handled this well for one reason or another. And you're right. Maybe it is. They're just really missing Bill Callahan. Bill Callahan and the magic elixir to get Jed Wills to play well. It's gone. It's gone. I don't know how you recreate that, and it's gone. And I kind of have solace in this whole thing to say, he's gone. It's over. You move on. That's it. That's it. Like, I'm not trying to make this. I really don't think this is a big deal. He misspoke, said some words that he probably would like to take back. Well, and they benched him.
It's not a big deal in terms of it just assumes some dysfunction about the Browns. But it is a big deal when it continues. And listen, this all goes back to Andrew Berry in some way, shape, or form. Because that was your first pick when you got here as the Cleveland Browns GM, right? Jed Wills?
Yeah.
Awful. Picked up his 5th-year option. Awful. Then you talk about Greg Newsome again, who obviously I'm not the biggest fan of. serviceable at best. They love serviceable players, clearly. And then it's like, so are we trusting him again to take our franchise quarterback? It all comes back to who's evaluating this talent.
I get it, and that's the thing. You see, left tackle is certainly very important, and it is one of the ones that everybody just talks about. You got to have this, got to have that. We've made it through with worse. We all get tired. Again, we had Joe Thomas here forever. We were a lap luxury with that. But is that one that, you're going to start Juwan Jones over there? Maybe Juwan Jones is your future guy. I certainly hope so. Now, also, too, I wanted to move the conversation forward. You keep Juwan Jones over there. Maybe you bring back Jack Conklin. He's under contract. You could release him and get cap savings. And sorry to tell you, the offensive tackle draft next year, it's just okay. You had an offensive tackle draft the last couple of years that has been amazing. That has been really good. You didn't have picks to stock up with. You didn't. This year, you got about 4 guys that are going to go in the first round, okay? Maybe slot in around that second round for a guy, but it's a solid draft, but it's not this world-beating offensive tackle draft. And now that's where you got to turn your attention. Probably more for a right tackle. Now, at this point, all I'm asking is Juwan Jones to stay healthy because I'm going to need him in there for these 8 games to go out and try to show that he can be the guy at left tackle.
It's just there's so many ways that you just look at the draft and how the Browns have utterly failed. And Mike Hall could turn out to be a Hall of Famer. He could turn out to be a Hall of Fame D tackle. I don't know. But the way his career started, you could have drafted an offensive tackle like Kingsley Samato, who's been playing great for the Chiefs. It's just, and Zach Zinter, who is way too early to tell on, but hasn't been great. He's been thrown into a bad situation. But it's just, there's starting left guard so many avenues that the Browns have continuously failed in the draft. And it's depressing.
The thing is, there's an ever-evolving or ever-turning cycle of team needs, okay? So here's the thing. At the time, all you can do is draft for what your team need is then. Andrew Berry always goes in and says, well, we approach it like an expansion team. We had this piece here, we had that.
They play like an expansion team.
Right, they play like an expansion team. But the turnover is so vast, sometimes you can't catch up. You're running as fast as you can to catch up to plug the holes that you have.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
And sometimes you can't get there.
Sounds
and
like
I think
fat
that's maybe
excuse.
Well,
how does that not have just a fat excuse? You're not doing your job and you're blaming it on something.
I'm not defending it, but what I'm saying is there's so much that you thought was tied up that isn't. Now there's a hole that you got to patch that didn't expect. It's like doing a construction job. And you tear the walls down, you get in there and you go, fuck. Go, damn it. Didn't think we were having to do plumbing over here. Didn't know the electrical was a bee's nest over there. Now we got problems. That's what happened with the Browns. They're going through a bad renovation right now. Bad renovation.
So when do you hold a contractor accountable?
Hold him accountable. You going to fire him?
Yes.
He's halfway through the job.
God bless.
All right. He's halfway through the job. Your kitchen's out of commission. I guess go ahead and call somebody else then. I don't know what to tell you. Well, if they're getting through a reno, the Cavs are sitting on a $12 million mansion over there in Bracknell right now. It's all going well for the Wine and Gold. We do talk with Sam Amico, newest member of us here at Big Play with Full Court Cleveland. We bring him in. You can follow Sam on Twitter at Amico Hoops. And, of course, Full Court Cleveland, Rafa, Sam, Booby. Everything's going well right now. Sam, for the Cavs, I wanted to ask you this question. It's a loaded question, but I see it with this Cavs team. You've covered the NBA for a long time. You've covered a lot of finals teams. I see a look of a team that believes they can win every night. They handle stretches, and when the Bulls went on a run, the Cavs come back with the run. Like, Sam, loaded question. Do you see it with the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Right now, yeah, I think it'd be hard to say that you don't, right? I mean, these are games last year, Matt, that they would have lost. When you talk about like Brooklyn building that lead in the second half, the Bulls going up 9, I believe, in the third quarter late last night, a couple of weeks ago, or I guess it was last week now against New Orleans. New Orleans made a nice run. And they remind me, heaven forbid, but just this early season of those 2015-16 Warriors in many ways, in that we're just not going to be denied. It's not going to be tonight, and Kenny Atkinson said that after the Nets game. He said, I try not to really think about the streak, and that, we're at that point they were 9-0. And he said, I try not to think about it. But when they were losing to Brooklyn, he said, I was sitting on the bench thinking, nah, not tonight, guys. Let's not let it end this way. So, and some of the other players too. Like Darius Garland has just come out and said, "Oh yeah, I'm thinking about the streak. I don't know what anybody else is doing, but it's on my mind." So to answer your question, Matt, yeah, right now it's only there's 70 games to go, but if you look at the rest of the league, to me they look like a team that has that it, and they've just managed to find ways to win, even when all seems lost. The one NBA scout told me the other night, I saw him at the game, and he said, after the Nets game, he said, the Cavs can't even lose when they try. So, I mean, that's how good things have been going.
Speaking of that, we asked this question yesterday, Sam. I'd love your answer. What is the best part about the Cavs right now? We talked Kenny Atkinson. We talked a little uptick in pace, the defense, Darius Garland returning to form. Like, I know it's a singular question, but what do you think is the best part about this Cavs team right now?
I think the best part is what we see is it's not only somebody different stepping up every night. It's like 2 or 3 somebody difference stepping up every night. Last night it was the entire bench. I mean, they went with a lineup of Dean Wade, Karis LeVert, Ty Jerome, who's just been a fantastic find, Sam Merrill, and George Niang. That was their lineup that got them back into the game. It sparked a run. So, I mean, there's really 5 guys right there. It's like, yeah, there's your somebody different stepping up. And we've seen Donovan Mitchell go off in these first halves, but comparatively, Donovan Mitchell has taken a step back. It's been less of Donovan Mitchell. While he's still been fantastic, it's been less of him and more of the other guys. And, so I guess that's one element of it. The other element of it is Darius Garland's just having a fantastic season after, taking nothing but grief last year, and probably deservedly so, and having a very injury-prone year last year, and not being, Darius Garland, even in his best years, was kind of known as a guy who wasn't hitting those clutch baskets. Well, now statistically, he's the most clutch player in the NBA, and we saw him do it again last night with a drive late in the game that sealed it. A very tough drive, and he banked in a shot against the Nets. He hit a runner, and then he found Evan Mobley for a pass late in that game. He's just been fantastic, and I think that that's been great to see because really, he's the engine, right? The point guard's the engine, and if the point guard's breaking down, your engine's breaking down, and the whole car isn't running right. And I thought we saw that last year, but this year he's just been fantastic.
Sam Amico joining us. You guys follow him on Twitter at Amico Hoops or Full Court Cleveland, Full Court CLE on Twitter is our newest basketball show. Sam, of course, a part of that. Do you buy into the schedule at all, Sam? Like, I again, we're all excited. This is great. They've had some marquee matchups, but they've also faced some teams that are really struggling. Just hearing from people around the NBA or even your own views, could you buy into maybe a little bit of the schedule, and it's not been the toughest? I mean, we'll all be ready to go for Tuesday night against the Celtics, but just your thoughts on the schedule for the Cavs thus far.
They have the 25th easiest schedule remaining of these next 70 games. So I think that shows you, out of the 30 teams, I think that shows you that, they've played an all right schedule. They haven't played the Bostons of the world, but really, they've played most teams in the Eastern Conference, and everybody in the East right now, other than the Cavs and the Celtics, has a losing record. So, no, they haven't had a West Coast swing, but I think that if you go back and look at Golden State's 24-0 start in 2015-16, they hadn't made any big trips on there either. So I think, look, you just win the games that are in front of you. It's hard. Darius Garland said this the other night. It's hard in the NBA to win one game. He said, so when you talk about, 11, 12 in a row, it's just crazy to think about, regardless of who you're playing. There are nights where 4 or 5 guys on your team have totally off nights, and the Cavs have had that, and they've still overcome it. I think that a big confidence boost for them was one particular game on the schedule when they went to, well, actually 2. They went to Madison Square Garden, and the Knicks are supposed to be all that with Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges and, a very good team. The Cavs got down 13 in that game and came back and won it. And I think that was a huge boost for them. I also think it impacted the Knicks a little bit. I don't think the Knicks are right. They were since that game, they've kind of been up and down, and then when they went to Milwaukee last weekend and, just played not really well at all and came back and won that game on that Donovan Mitchell last second shot, dribbled the ball off his knee and it almost went out of bounds. And then he drives it and they win the game. So I think that they think, right now we're kind of a team of destiny. And we believe that we're not going to lose. They really believe that, or we shouldn't lose. That game against the Nets, of course, I was there at that game covering it. And another writer and I were walking out after the game. And I'm like, I'm still like processing the fact that they won that game because they had like 99 reasons to lose. So as far as the schedule goes, look, we know this in the NBA, there's so many games that anybody can beat anyone on any given night. But right now they are just simply willing themselves to victory and refusing to lose. So, for me, I never really look, you got to play everybody at some point. You got to play everybody at least twice. So I don't really put a lot of stock in, well, their schedule's been easy or whatever. If they had played 12 home games against teams with losing records, then I'd say, yeah, well, they've got an easy schedule, but they're playing everybody just like everyone else is.
Want to ask you about the lineup. Sam Amico joining us, Amico Hoops. So obviously you mentioned that. They go to the bench. They go on a 9-0 run last night and get it done. I know Strus is still a little ways off. Okoro in, Wade in the starting back there. Just your thoughts on Kenny Atkinson's usage right now, of the guys kind of, I don't want to say dividing up Sam, because just watching, I think he is doing more Darius and Donovan on the floor at the same time when we all thought maybe in the offseason, all right, maybe we should split those guys up. Just anything standing out to you about Kenny Atkinson's lineups and his usage of the guys?
Yeah, number one, through the first 7 games when they were 7-0, and this tells you about, number one, how he's kind of preserving minutes during these wins. But when they were 7-0, they were the first team to go 7-0 with playing nobody 30 minutes a game since 1978, since the 1978 Seattle Sonics. So he's really utilizing the bench here, and he's really trusting the bench. And he has said, that's not easy for a coach to do. You have your starters out there, your stars, and you trust that's going to get it done. But he's really utilizing the bench and getting creative. We see, like I said, that small lineup that they used last night was the same type of, they used 4 guards against the Nets to come back in that game. 4 guards, and none of them were starters, and Evan Mobley. Or I'm sorry, Darius Garland was out there. So, he went small and it worked, and he's been doing more of that Golden State Warriors small ball. Of course, Kenny Atkinson coming over from the Warriors. I just think that's really been impressive with how he's managed to stagger the minutes of not just Donovan Mitchell, but also Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, your main guy. So it's been interesting, and I could foresee a day, if not, potentially soon, where Dean Wade goes back into that starting lineup. He almost plays better as a starter. And then of course you got Max Strus coming back. I would say looks like maybe 3 weeks or so, a little bit after Thanksgiving. So there's just a lot of not only going right on the court with the combinations, but they're preserving the minutes, which is huge when you're talking about an 82-game season.
Final thing, Sam, is it going to be a 2-horse race between the Cavs and the Celtics in the East? They've already built that gap where, like you mentioned, the rest of the conference is basically kind of wallowing right now. The Bucks seem to be a mess. Paolo's out for the Magic, like the Knicks, all that. 76ers we'll see tomorrow. Do you think it's going to come down inevitably to the Cavs and the Celtics running away from everybody else in the East?
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to run away, but I think that those are the 2 teams to beat in the long run. I don't know why, the Knicks have time, but they're healthy and they're playing 500 basketball or below 500. I just don't know if I trust that team and that lineup. before the year, Matt, I think you asked me, and I listed 8 teams. Now I think we're probably down to like 4. And who knows? The Magic, when Banchero comes back, they're a tough matchup for the Cavs.
They are. I'm a big Magic guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we saw that in Cleveland without Banchero. They gave the Cavs fits for a little bit. So I think that, yes, those are the 2 teams that it seems like everybody's going to be chasing. I don't know. Milwaukee, to me, they just look like it's going to be one of those seasons.
Yeah.
Where you're the Cleveland Browns. Fittingly, their part owner, is also the owner of the Cleveland Browns.
Very true.
So,
Very true.
it just looks to me like, yeah, you might want to write this off here soon. But look, there's 70 games to go. We'll still be doing this. We're going to have to change a season twice. We're going to go from winter to spring, and we're still going to be in the regular season. That's how long this is going. And then if you're lucky in the playoffs, you're also playing into the summer. So it's so long. But to me, if the Cavs just continue to play this style with this belief and this determination, look, they're going to lose a game.
Right. Yeah.
And they know this is looming, right? So how do you come through that, and how do you respond to that to remain near the top of the East? But the way they're playing and the way Evan Mobley is playing particularly, that gives them that big to go with really 2 all-star guards now and a deep bench that plays with great confidence. Yeah, they're gonna be up near the top all season. I don't know, Philly, I don't know what's going to become when Embiid comes back. They also seem, if anybody reminds me of the Cleveland Browns in the NBA, it is the Philadelphia 76ers. Culturally, talent on paper, lots of talent. Culturally, just don't seem there. So the more this goes, the longer this goes, I could see this being a 2-team race for sure with Philly and Boston, or I'm sorry, with the Cavs and Boston in the Eastern Conference.
Love it, Sam. We'll be watching Full Court Cle on Twitter, Full Court Cleveland, our new basketball show. It's Sam, Miko, Rafa, and, of course, Booby. Sam will be watching this week. We appreciate it. Go Cavs tomorrow night. We'll talk to you next week, all right?
All right. Thanks for having me, Matt. Talk to you soon.
There you go. Sam and Miko Hoops on Twitter. The other thing I was thinking when Sam was kind of talking there, he was so right on about how this season's going to play out. Ryan, we don't have to make some move at the trade deadline. Like, I think about that where you have this upheaval at the trade deadline where you got to find a new way to play. Cavs don't have that. Like, I could see this lineup being the lineup for the rest of the year. Now, barring injury, things like that are going to happen, sure. But you don't have, like, what, we talk about the Philly right there where they got to find a new way to play, and they're losing this guy, and what's going to go on? Cavs got everything cooking right now. The only thing I was going to get to Sam, too, and I should have asked him about this, too. The unsung hero for the Cavs right now, is it Ty Jerome?
Yeah, I think it's got to be.
It's got to be him. Like, Niang last night showed up big. Sam Merrill still hitting shots. Wade, Karras.
I was going to say, it's either Ty Jerome or Karras.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of what you expected preseason and how much they've contributed based off of their projected minutes, I mean, how could it not be Ty Jerome?
Right. Karras, you knew was gonna be a big part of this team. Ty Jerome, you're like, all right, we'll see what kind of goes on. The ankle injury he had to overcome last year, all that. And he has turned into a guy you have got to play. You got to, really, at this point now with Kenny Atkinson, you have 9 guys that deserve 10 minutes or more in any given game. Your starters, Karras is going to be out there. Sam Merrill deserves to be out there. Ty Jerome deserves to be out there. Niang deserves to be out there. Plus either Wade or Okoro, whoever's starting. Like, that's the depth, and they've done nothing, to Sam's point, which is so great. They've done nothing but prove to Kenny Atkinson, no, man, you can trust us out there. We'll take care of this for you.
And that's all sans Max Strus.
That's without Max Strus whenever he comes back. Like, it's going well, man. It's so much fun with this Cavs team, and I agree with Sam. I think it's going to come down to the Celtics and the Cavs. Get that gap, run away with it. We'll see. We got the in-season tournament starting soon, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Go win that thing.
Is it not the next game?
I think 76ers tomorrow night is the first game of that. Yeah. I know the Celtics game
Boston
next Tuesday is one of the games in that tournament.
And I believe the Bulls as well. Or is the Bulls the first one? And then I don't know if the 76ers is this one.
Hang on. I think it is.
I think the Bulls, and I know the Celtics are.
Cavs in-season tournament games. All right.
So, yes, against the 76ers it's not, but it begins against the Bulls on Friday.
Oh, that's what it is. That's right, because I knew it was coming up. So technically, the in-season tournament starts tonight. We don't play tonight, but there's a host of games tonight. Because remember that? They all got to play the same night. All the in-season tournament games have to be played on the same day. So then, again, you're right. Yeah, we go Bulls on Friday, then Tuesday against the Celtics, then November 29th. Is that not Black Friday? It is. Cavs Hawks 2:30 play-in tournament game. And then we round it out in December against the Wizards. That's it. So we have the Wizards, the Bulls, the Hawks, and the Celtics. Those are the four qualifiers to get into the in-season tournament. And it's like also because then you have the quarterfinals, semis, and the championship and all that. And that's added games, which I get that people are kind of like, don't really like that, whatever. I kind of like that for this team to show up and go win that tournament. To I don't want to say prove to themselves. I think a 12-0 start has proven to themselves and the rest of the league that they're contenders. But I kind of like to see them go win that tournament. I know it's extra games, which some people might not like. But here's the other thing, too. You play out the way you're playing right now. You're just kicking ass and taking names. You go to the in-season tournament. You win that. You play a couple extra games. Ryan, you need to sit your guys a couple. Now, I know Adam Silver will be up your ass. Oh, wait, player participation. You have built a lead that maybe you can sit Donovan a little bit around the All-Star break. You can sit him maybe in December to get a couple of games off. Like, the Cavs are humming. They're ticking right now. And, like Sam said, they don't have to play all their guys all these minutes. Eventually, you're going to get to a point like, we'll sit these guys down. We don't care if we lose this game.
Yeah, if you're 12-0, you should be able to do what you want.
Yeah. Do you know what you just stumbled upon there, young Ryan?
What's that?
What if Adam Silver, put in a thing about if you're above 500, the player participation trophy or player participation policy doesn't. See, but that doesn't help because all the star players are usually on above 500 teams. Shouldn't you reward teams that are playing well and winning to not be like, if you need to sit your players, sit your player.
Right.
I'm not saying they're going to be up on the Cavs about that. They just say pick the right games and try to figure out the right games to sit them out and all that kind of stuff. But it's all going well for the Cavs right now. All right, we got to go around the league. You want to do that instead of the morning update coming up?
Yeah.
Let's do this. I want to get to a couple of things before we do the morning, or before we do around the league. We're going to revisit the Jed Wills conversation in an hour or two as well. I do want to update our Twitter question on that. Do you think this is a big deal? I've made a couple of different takes on why I don't think this is a big deal on Jed Wills. Okay? He's a guy that's not going to be here moving forward, doesn't want to play here anymore, and you basically have rolled snake eyes on this draft pick. Okay? Bust, move on. And frankly, I hope he goes well. That's fine. Go off, go play somewhere else. It doesn't work here, but it also helps that you at least have DeJuan Jones, right? You have a guy that you hope can be your starting left tackle of the future, and maybe you found a diamond in the rough. Maybe it's all a means to an end. But I want to update our Twitter question quick. Do you think it's a big deal about Jed Wills' business decision?
70% say yes.
Wow.
Todd, yes, because it speaks to the toxic culture that remains in that locker room. Barry and Stefanski were supposed to change it. They haven't.
You will always have one. You'll always have one. I want to say go look at the Patriots, but Bill had to keep guys in line. I don't think it's if you had a mass exodus, if you had 3 or 4 guys coming out going, don't really want to play anymore, then I think we'd have a problem. This is one. I think this is an individual case, and I also think the Browns have handled it right. I'd be more concerned, truthfully, if the Browns had mishandled this, and I don't think they have. He didn't want to play. He felt like he was injured. You won that game, by the way. You come back, you go, dude, you're benched. You're benched. And you're going to yell at me for this. I'm going to give Jed Wills a little bit of credit. Ready? Sounds like he handled the benching fine. It's not like...
Yeah, of course. He doesn't care about playing.
That's what I'm saying. It's not like he's sending out cryptic messages or he's going on his podcast to bitch about this. He understands why he got benched. He made a couple of comments about it yesterday. That's it.
Did you ever watch Blue Mountain State?
No, but I know of it.
Alex Moran, the backup quarterback, he gets upset because he actually has to start and play. I mean, that's Jed Wills.
That's fine, man. If he wants to just toll away on a practice squad... Maybe you should learn long snapping. Best job in the business, unless you're on Deebo Samuel's team. It's the best job in the business. Be a long snapper. Do that. Figure that out. Backup quarterback, I don't know. Figure it out. But yeah, that's it. It's all move forward. That's kind of where we're at. The only thing I want to bring up quick on baseball, are you upset that Jose Ramirez wasn't a finalist for the AL MVP? They go Soto, Judge, Bobby Witt. And we all know that Judge is going to win it.
Yeah.
But are you bothered that Soto got the nod over him?
No, Soto had a better season.
Okay.
And he's obviously better in the playoffs.
Doesn't bother me because you know Judge is going to win it. All right. Yeah. You know, he's going to finish top 5.
I mean, you can bitch all you want about Jose Ramirez, but at the end of the day, he did not have a top 3 season. So what are we getting mad about?
I really didn't have a problem with it. You know, I understand. Yeah, big marketplace to play that, but you're right. Soto had a better year. He's going to go sign for $600 million. Like, it is what it is. That's fine. And I think he'll finish in the top 5 to keep that streak alive or add another one to his resume, so to speak. Clase, finalist for the AL Cy Young. Again, he's not going to win it, but I think it really shows you how big that was. Vote all 3 managers, AL Central, Royals, and Tigers. We'll give that one to Steven Vogt and get that engraved. And the only thing for Buster Olney, he really thought it was a shame that Cade Smith did not finish in the top 3 for AL Rookie of the Year. He should have.
Agreed.
And then I sent the funny tweet out this morning. Soto's got his schedule lined up for all the teams going to meet with. And is the Guardians on that? Are they on that? He's meeting with Toronto this week, then the Red Sox, then the Mets, and then the Yankees. Do you read into something that the Yankees are the last one?
No, he knows the most about him.
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Hey, I got all these numbers. Match this. We'll go to town here.
Right.
Where's he going to go?
I either stays in New York or plays. Like, he'll stay in New York regardless, I think.
Right.
It'll be Yankees or Mets, I would imagine. He's not playing in Toronto. Give me a break.
No, he's not going to Toronto.
And I don't think he's going to Boston either.
Tampa? They called.
Yeah.
What's the price? Nah, never mind.
Should go back to San Diego.
Honestly, I saw them on the list. I think you're right. I think he stays in New York. I think the telltale there is they told Garrett Cole, like, we're not giving you any more money. You're already on a massive deal. Like, we're going to save up what we can. But who else are they going to pay? I guess it's the Yankees. They'll come up with the money. But yeah, he's going to stay in New York, right? Let's probably go back to the Yankees.
I think so.
It'd be nice for you to the Mets. I love a little stab there at the Yankees, but I think he's going to go back to the Mets as well. All right, let's catch our first break in the morning. We come back. We're going to go around the league. We'll get our picks, recap the week. We got more football coming up. We'll dive back into Jed Wills, Cavs, grid, timeout, brackets. Hour 2 upon us. Stay with us.
The Big Play Sports Network. Download the free app today to watch all of your favorite hosts on demand.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like... I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
All right, let's hit it.
I had my other bet up.
No, yeah, that actually might be the one for this week.
Yeah.
That might actually be the one for this week.
Oh my God,
buddy.
what did I go? I am the evil empire.
This is not good. Not good for our week. Is that week 10?
Yes.
Week 10.
We're
Ugh.
already in week 10.
We will get to that coming up. We're going to go around the league. Welcome back. Fontana Show right here on Big Play. You can follow us on Twitter X at Matt Fontana Show. We're up on Instagram and YouTube at the Big Play channel. Download the Big Play app. Go check us out as well on, what did I miss? Instagram? Oh, we're on Twitch. You can follow us on Twitch as well at Matt Fontana Show. All driven by our friends at Fairway Ford. Folks, the F-150 sale, $12,000 off and rates as low as that 1.9% APR. Got a chance to talk to Brian from Fairway Ford yesterday, and Colleen, it was so great. Here's the thing I want to tell you about Fairway Ford. They are one of the largest dealerships in Northeast Ohio. Brian was telling me about just the mass amount of inventory that they move. And you're sitting there and say, oh, you feel like that has a negative connotation. Not at all. He tells Matt, we got 400 F-150, we got 400 commercial truck. Here's what they're willing to do deals. And this is where, Brian, we're talking about family-owned and operated. Half of their sales staff over there for 15 years or more, experienced. They're wanting to move stuff. And he says, we have become, frankly, I'm going to say the words, so powerful in this point. And that's not what Brian said, because they're just, here's the thing. They have so much, they're willing to part. And he goes, we like making deals. We like moving cars. You know, sometimes you go to a lot, they only have 10 of what you're looking at. They can be stingy. They be like, we really can't really move this one, waiting for another deal. Not at Fairway Ford. They've got all the new vehicles, a great selection of pre-owned. And Brian was telling me, dude, we'll take almost any trade. He's telling me, we took a $200,000 G-Wagon in a trade, and he goes, I'll take trades for cars that are worth $2,000. Whatever works, because we want to be making deals. We want to get people in the great Ford product. They've got all those amazing deals going on. The Expeditions, the Broncos, the Explorer. But I'm telling you, where they really shine is the trucks. The F-150s. They got it. The commercial vehicles. You want to get yourself in that new Ranger Raptor? You know my dream, man. That F-150 Raptor. Huh, yes. They're making deals. They're getting it done at Fairway Ford. They have the best deals going right now. They have the best staff that you can get to, and they have the inventory. That's the biggest thing I'm telling you about Fairway Ford. They're willing to move stuff. They're willing to get things going for you, and that helps you get a best deal. Brian told me, he goes, we had a family, a husband and wife. They drove from Michigan to Canfield. Don't tell me you can't make that drive to Canfield to save yourself $1,000.
Wrong. It was Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. You're right. It was Wisconsin. It wasn't even Michigan. It was even further. It was Wisconsin.
Yes, sir.
They drove in, got their truck. They were in and out in 30 minutes. That's another great line for Brian. If you're in the dealership for more than 2 hours, we're doing something wrong. This isn't sitting there, numbers. Oh, wait, let me pressure you about the warranty for an hour. No, not at Fairway Ford. They want to get you the right vehicle for the right price. They're willing to make deals. They're willing to move vehicles. That's what they do. FairwayFordOhio.com. FairwayFordOhio.com. They got everything for you. Appreciate them being a part of us here on Big Play and on the show. Go check them out. FairwayFordOhio.com. All right, Ryan. I should just rip this page out.
So you told me I did bad, but you didn't tell me how bad I did yet. Exactly how bad I did.
Want to know your record, or should we run through the games and then you can... You want the record?
Yeah, because I don't remember exactly everyone I bet.
We had 14 games on the slate for Week 10. I scrapped together a 7-7 week. Ryan?
Dude, that's a good week for me.
4-10.
Yep.
4-10.
Just bet opposite of me.
Rough go. We both had a middle streak here that we'll get to these games in a second, but oh boy, was not good. We start out there in Germany. It was the Giants falling outright as 6.5-point favorites to the Panthers. Bryce Young back? Was he ever really there? I don't buy that. I think the Giants are ass. They're going to bench Daniel Jones, okay? Read into his contract. He has $23 million guaranteed for injury next season. You cannot let him get hurt. They're going to bench him. I'm sure the Maras are going to rethink about their statement on Brian Dable and not. I don't know. It was an international game. Always go dog in that. Always go under, which is obviously very hit there. I thought that was two bad football teams. Carolina just made a few more plays, and they got the win there. Not reading too much into Bryce Young's turnaround. I saw some nice throws, which are nice. I just think it's more the Giants are a really, really bad football team right now.
They're horrible. They're the worst. It's hard to put into words how bad they are. It's hard to put into words how bad Daniel Jones is.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors is the only thing they have about going for him. Tyrone Tracy looks to be pretty good.
Fumble. What a bad fumble was
but
in overtime to lose that game on out.
But boy, are the Giants in a bad place, just like our Cleveland Browns. But hey, they beat us.
Well, now you start watching Panthers now with 3 wins, Giants with 2 wins. We're gonna start doing this thing, a scoreboard watching for the draft. Those are things you're gonna have to keep your eye on here. Speaking of bad, firing their OC this morning, the Bears. Is the stat not that they have not scored a touchdown since they got beat on the Hail Mary by the Washington Commanders? Is that the factual statement there from for the Bears?
Yeah.
Broken?
Their punter has more yards than Caleb Williams.
Well, this year the Browns have more punt yards than total yards. Yeah. That's a Brown stat from this season. Williams, nothing. Sacked 9 times. The Patriots behind a Drake May touchdown and an interception and a lot of field goals get the win 19-3. The Bears fired Shane Waldron this morning. Had to do it. I think we just bought stock in the Bears too early. I think this looks like what you would think with a lot of rookies. Starts out fine, and now they've come crashing on earth. Is the book out on Caleb Williams? Probably. Am I saying that he's bust? No, but I think they're going to have to turn things around. Now, obviously, with them firing their OC, you believe that things are going to have to go. They got, again, Keenan Allen's playing. DJ Moore is playing. This is abysmal. They should be fired for this. DJ Moore, 3 receptions. Roma Dunze, 3 receptions. You can't do that. And that has a lot to do with, again, Caleb probably not seeing the field all that well, and he got sacked 9 times.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think it's an interesting case study of you look at the rookie quarterbacks just this year. I would have said that probably, and I think you would agree with this, that Caleb Williams was going into the worst coaching staff. Not situation.
Right, not situation,
coaching
but
staff.
yeah.
Meanwhile, Jaden Daniels with Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury, and then you have Bo Nix, of course, with Sean Payton. Both are wildly more successful with their quarterbacks than Caleb Williams has been with the Bears.
Absolutely.
So it's like, how much is the rookie? How much is the situation? More so the coaching situation where he goes.
Again, look at the Browns. Patriots with the win now, 3-7, as we're keeping our eye on that. We both lost on Chicago. I feel like an idiot for that. I don't know what firing Shane Waldron's going to do. Matt Eberflus going to lose his job after the season. It was the Buffalo Bills doing what they do. Solid 10-point win there over the Colts. Joe Flacco, 3 picks, fumble. Do you not just go back to Anthony Richardson at this point? They're 4-6.
Yeah.
They're not making the playoffs.
Probably.
They're not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So you might as well say we sat you down to kind of protect yourself. You want to sell to Jonathan Taylor, who ran for $114. Pittman seems like the walking injured. Didn't even play in that game, right? No,
Correct.
he was out.
He was out.
That's right. He was out. He's fighting through those injuries. I think you go back to Anthony Richardson. I just do. I don't think there's any point trying to keep it together with Flacco anymore. Let Richardson get in there, make the mistakes, and hopefully be better for it next year.
As a Josh Downs fantasy manager, I'm going to disagree with you. I want Flacco to start.
10 targets for that guy?
Yeah,
He's
eats
good.
with Joe
I like
Flacco.
Josh Downs a lot. Yeah, I think he's pretty
But
good.
yes, from a football standpoint, yes, I agree.
Bills, hey man, Josh Allen with some electric runs, didn't throw for a touchdown. I was going to say it's just the damn interceptions, and they don't crop up in a game like this. But good win, solid win. Can't read too much into it for the Bills. They're 8-2, and they're just cooking. We both won on Buffalo. By the way, what a nail biter it was in the NFL scripted, maybe. Chiefs 16-14 on a walk-off blocked field goal attempt. That guy got demolished on that left side. I don't know why more teams, I guess it's easy. You'd sit there and say they would just do this. Why don't you just have 2 guys just push that guy over and somebody else run around? It seemed like what the Chiefs did. Stinky, though. Stinky.
Worst 9-0 team ever.
I won on Denver covering. You got KC. They're 7.5-point favorites there. KC just doing a bunch of, 35 yards for Kareem Hunt, 1 touchdown to Kelsey who's trying to come back. Mahomes, they're just like screwing with people now. They're 9-0. You're right. I would probably agree with you. They're probably the worst 9-0 team to ever be in the history of the game, but they just keep winning. They just keep finding wins. For the Broncos, though, playoffs, 5-5. It ain't going to be easy. The Chargers are still there. It's going to be a wild card, but dude, if I'm the Broncos, I'm walking out going, dude, we feel like we can beat a lot of these teams. You got to feel good. I still think no matter what, they're going to be a year away from like truly competing, but you have now built a base there. You trusted Sean Payton. You got rid of Russell Wilson. Whether or not Bo Nix is going to be some world beater, I don't know. But like, if you're the Broncos, you got to be feeling good. Like, dude, we got 5 wins already, probably more than we expected. And we're taking teams like the Chiefs down to the wire, and in all rights, probably should have won that game.
No, you're 5-5. You were projected to be one of the worst teams heading into this season, a rookie quarterback. The Broncos were they're a confusing team. Like, they drop games they probably shouldn't.
They look like what? A rookie quarterback, right?
But they're competitive, they're well coached, and they have talent on both sides of the ball.
Again, I won Denver, you lost KC. We both lost. Yeah, I just want to rub that in. Doesn't matter because we both lost in this one. What the Atlanta? What?
You should have seen it coming, though.
The firing of the coach to rally the guys. I mean, I guess. I just thought that the Saints would be sitting there saying, yeah, Dennis Allen's poop, and we need to get rid of him. I put that more on the Falcons. They might be number one. And again, I'm not a Falcons fan. I don't really care. But as far as the most frustrating teams in football, how are the Falcons not number one? Bijan Robinson, elite, continued to be elite. Drake London in the game. Kyle Pitts, like, what are they doing? Kirk Cousins, 1 interception. He threw for 306. What? Like, what is going on with the Falcons? They put up all those yards. It's, the fumbles, all that other kind of, like, I don't understand how that game goes that way to the Saints. Got 2 from Marquez Valdez-Scantling on Carr, and Kamara didn't even get in the end zone. How did the Falcons lose that game? Seriously.
I think they'll be very good when Penix takes over.
I'm a big believer in Michael
Whenever
Penix,
that may be, I think they'll be a really good team.
Again, Browns notes. Saints now with 3 wins on the rest of the way on out. Both lose on that one. Both fell on San Francisco. Baker doing just enough to lose some of these games. It was 23-20. Baker with the touchdown. Bucky Irving gets in the end zone. He's also battling injury now. The 49ers, so McCaffrey returns, and it felt like they were really trying to feed him the football to see. He seemed healthy. I just felt like that, for San Francisco, just did enough to get that win. They didn't look all that great, but they just found their way to get that win. It was a tough road trip. That's a long flight for them going to Tampa. Purdy 2 touchdowns. George Kittle is the best tight end in football.
Okay, yeah, you're stealing my words.
Sorry. That's a take from one Ryan Tyler. Copyright.
Yeah.
Circle it. Ryan Tyler, George Kittle's best tight end in football.
That's what I've been saying, bro. He's unbelievable. That toe tap, now he's hurt, though, of course, hamstring.
Yeah, of course. Moody missing those kicks. Debo freaking out. I mean, again, Moody was his first game back off the ankle injury. It's going to happen. I thought, you and I discussed that yesterday. I thought it was a really bad look from Debo Samuel. Kyle Shanahan better find him and sit him down for a quarter or something like that.
Cry baby Debo.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. And again, they were probably looking at a Tampa team going, how the hell are we in this? Tampa, scrappy, though. And they're having to do that by...
Listen, Brown's season has been frustrating, but for different reasons. But I can imagine it's such a frustrating season for Tampa because Baker's been playing well. You lost
one
4
of the top
straight
5 best quarterbacks in the NFL.
But you're not playing bad football.
No.
You lose Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. He was having a career year. That sucks. But the Bucs should be looking in on the playoffs, and they've dropped 4 straight.
They're 4-6 at this point, trying to hang on. But we'll see. We both took San Fran and couldn't get it done. The Steelers, not at all shocked that they got that win. And oh, wait a minute.
Steelers won, but only won by 1 point. And I think they were favored.
Doesn't matter. They were dogs.
Oh, were they?
So we won both of those.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry. I improved to 8-6 on the week. Ryan improves to 5-9. I'm sorry. I marked that as the commies were favored 2.5.
Let me go look. Somebody was favored 2.5. I can't remember.
I think it was the commies because I think we both said.
I would imagine it was.
I think it was because I remember we both said we thought Pittsburgh might win that game.
Well, here, I can tell you right now.
Okay.
Yes, it was Washington minus.
That's right. We won that one. That's right. We both had Pittsburgh. Because I think we both said we think we're going to take them outright. You're going to give us the 2.5. Right. We'll take it.
Correct.
That just, I think, was, hey, rookie quarterback, meet one of the best franchises in football, right? like Jay Daniels didn't throw a touchdown in that game, didn't throw an interception, only sacked him a couple times. Is Russ back? 3 touchdowns for him, only $1.95. Pittsburgh is a scary football team. As much as that pains me to say, they've now lost Alex Highsmith to an injury, so that'll have to change a little bit for them. Eckler had the 2 touchdowns. It was a good football game to watch. It just felt like, rookie quarterback facing a really tough football team. Steelers are freaking 7-2, man.
Yeah,
Mike Tomlin needs 2 more wins to keep that 500 streak alive.
Yeah.
That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Also, I picked this stat up this morning. Do you know Russ is 1 touchdown away from throwing the most touchdowns in a Pittsburgh Steelers season since Ben Roethlisberger retired? Ryan, he's played in 3 games.
Yeah, that is insane, but like it makes sense when you think about it.
Pickens, good.
Mason Rudolph, Duck Hodges. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
Pickett. Yeah,
anybody, yeah.
Right. I get it. George Pickens, I think, is on his way up. I think he's gonna be a really good player. Mike Williams had that 1 touchdown they needed. I think everything's cooked for the Steelers. Can I make one little suggestion to the Steelers?
Sure.
Run Jalen Warren. Najee Harris ain't it, man. And I know they invested in him and they drafted him and all that kind of stuff. I think they're better off with Jalen, especially with Russ Wilson in there. I think they got in that model of like the bus, and we need to run and physical running. With Russ in there, who likes to move, you need Jalen Warren in that game. I would make that flip right away for them.
It's funny, a lot of people question Mike Tomlin when he named Russ the starter once he got healthy, and I mean, it's been clearly night and day with that offense.
Get it now. Still a believer in the Commanders, though. 7-3. I think these close game. They're going to need some games like that.
They are yet to beat a team over 500.
That's fair. That's fair. I'll listen to that. So we both won on Pittsburgh. I made that mistake there. Vikings get the win, but they don't cover. In a field goal interception fest, 12-7. Mac Jones with 2. Sam Darnold with 3. Ugly. And that's why they need to fire Doug Peterson. You want to know why? Your only hope of winning a game like that was an ugly, disgusting game for Minnesota, and you still couldn't do it. Now, I know Trevor Lawrence wasn't in there, and by this point, sounds like might be out the rest of the year, like sit him down with that shoulder if he needs surgery. 2-8, I don't know how Doug Peterson still has his job.
I blame you because you told me, in quote, I'm not allowed to take Jacksonville.
It was Mac Jones. One more all I needed was 1 touchdown. 1 more touchdown.
Hey.
That's it. Vikings smelling themselves, maybe licking their wounds a little bit, and we're not focused. That was clear and apparent in that game. That was more about Minnesota than it was Jacksonville. Again, read into it as I will. I think that's a little blip on the radar for the Vikings. For the Jags, I'd fire them both. We both took Minnesota. That's my bad there. Chargers dismantle the 27-17. That game felt worse than it was. Will Levis returns to action. He throws a couple of touchdowns, but it's Justin Herbert, who I read this week. Somebody was making the case about Justin Herbert, saying he has actually been playing at an elite level this season. And he's getting not necessarily the love, threw for a touchdown, ran another one in, but that Justin Herbert is playing to the level that the Chargers believed him to be playing to. They're at 6-3. They seem to be punching their ticket for the playoffs.
I mean, they've won how many straight now?
They've only won 3 straight, but they've won 4 out of their last 5. Right. So they beat the Saints, us, and the Titans. That's a streak that they should win. They do have the Bengals on Sunday Night Football coming up this weekend. Playing a little test there for the Chargers. Early take the Bengals in. I like that game for the Bengals. Okay. Little get right game. But Titans, nothing going on. Will Levis comes back. Okay, he's better than Mason Rudolph, sure, but sacked 7 times in that freaking game. Calvin Ridley still elite. They only feed him. That's it. Not much to read about that game. We both win easy on the Chargers, 7.5. They win by 10. Philly, Dallas. What the fuck? I know, again, it's Cooper Rush. Jerry Jones said this morning Dak's out for the year. He's going to have surgery tomorrow. Yes. He's going to have surgery on that torn hamstring there. 34-6. They just love kicking the crap out of the Cowboys. They did that. Not much else to take away. Cowboys got nothing. Cooper Rush. Eventually they'll play Trey Lance. That's it. For Philly, they improved to 7-2. Good for them. Fine. Anything else? Take away the shades, the curtain.
Do you by chance have our division picks?
I do.
because we both took Philly, and it seems as though that's going to happen. Barring an injury, I'd be surprised if Washington
We both took Philly.
retook that.
We both took Philly.
Okay.
Quick revisit, if you will.
Yes, please.
Philly for the East. I took Detroit. You took Green Bay. Both still very much alive. I took Tampa. You took Atlanta in the South.
They're going
I
to win,
guess
but that division remains
so
poop.
bad. We both took the 49ers out west, which is still kind of alive.
Still very possible.
I took Green Bay, the Rams, and Atlanta to make the playoffs. Yeah. You took Detroit, LA, and Chicago. Chicago's probably the only one that's out for you. AFC, I took Miami in the East, which will not happen. You took Buffalo, which is correct. We both are going to miss the South. I took the Jags. You took the Colts. Took KC out.
You take the Jags.
I don't know. We both took KC. That'll be fine. I took Cincy. You took Cleveland for the North. That will not happen.
Yeah,
I have the Jets, Houston, and Cleveland making the playoffs. That's not happening for 2 of those 3. You took Cincinnati, the Jets, and Houston. We both took KC.
We didn't do too bad.
Nah, it's not where we're at right now. Jets. Holy God.
Oh, man, they're butt cheeks.
Dude, they're so bad. The Cardinals, they're a feisty team. All right, they're a feisty Cardinals team, but 31-6?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kyler Murray's 3-0 since Black Ops 6 came out.
It's a good game. I enjoy it very much. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in addition to his 1 passing touchdown. Cardinals, playoffs or not, 6-4.
I mean, listen, Rams just lost, so maybe one team from that division makes the playoffs. Them or the 49ers. I mean, I'll still go 49ers, but very possible.
Why we took the Jets, I don't know. Really don't know. Jets are a 1.5 favorite. They lose by 25. So that's it there. Great game on Sunday Night Football. The Lions come storming back and get the 26-23 win. Here's the thing. I won on a hook. It was 3.5 for Detroit. I took Houston. I'm sorry. I took Houston. You took Detroit. The hook gets you and cashes for me. Great game to watch. And even sitting there watching, you're like, man, Detroit has no reason to win this game. They shut Houston out in the second half. Goff overcomes 5 interceptions.
Did you take Houston in that?
I took Houston, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I took. The stat is out there. He's like the first quarterback to do that and win a game, or even the first guy to have 5 interceptions a game. I think since Jameis or something like that. Absolutely insane, dude, how powerful the Lions. They just keep believing. Houston, still 6-4. I still think they're making it. That was a gut punch. That was a bad game for the Houston Texans, specifically to get shut out in that second half, to not be able to get the stops that you needed. And I do think they have an offensive problem without Nico Collins, right? Like Tank Dell, you're out Stephon Diggs. Mechie had the touchdown. You ain't going to live with Dalton Schultz, Joe Mixon, and Cade Stover being some of your biggest targets on your team. And they talked a lot about this on the broadcast of the offensive line getting fixed, right? They moved the center to guard. They brought in a new center. C.J. Stroud was still sacked 4 times in that game. And they thought that the problem with C.J. Stroud was it was in his head. He wasn't focusing right. He was getting beat. Well, kind of reared its ugly head yet again for that game. So the Lions get it done 8-1 and are seeming like the best team in football right now. To Monday Night Football. What? Rams lay an egg. We both took them. Miami gets the win last night.
Yep. Think Tua means a lot to that team?
Yeah, but I just don't think the Rams played well. 23-15. Touchdown and interception. Malik Washington runs one in. I mean, I think it was just more about the Rams. Kept shooting themselves in the foot. 4 sacks, the interception for Stafford. I don't know. I feel like they just couldn't finish off drives. They were in this just kind of weird situation. You see McVay just turning. Stafford took some bad sacks on some key plays. Miami's defense, which has been one of the biggest issues going in, of course, I was talking about that before the game, right? Miami only had 10 sacks in 8 games, and then they show up and got massive sacks on Matt Stafford and shut everything down. The other thing was they really stopped Kyron Williams, too. I know he had 62 yards, but, I don't know. That's a big game for Miami. 3-6. They're still cooked, though, but at least keeps them alive to keep fighting. What do you make all this Tyreek Hill stuff with his wrist? Comes out, and he's like, hey, I kind of got aggravated with that arrest. He's been fighting. He was questionable. He did play. Got the 1 touchdown. I'd like to think Miami can go on a little run here. Here's their schedule coming up. Raiders, winnable. Patriots, winnable. Packers, Jets, Texans, 49ers, us, and the Jets. They can't screw around anymore.
Yeah.
They're 3-6. They need to win the next 2 games, no bones about it.
And I mean, even as bad as the Jets are you really going to take both?
You're really going to beat the 49ers, Texans, maybe even us? I don't know.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's it's you're on a
You can
hair
afford
trigger
to
right
lose
now.
most 2 more games.
You're on a hair trigger right now. And again, look at the East. Buffalo 8-2. All the rest of the teams 3-6, 3-7, 3-7. Just the seas apart there. What I thought there was a world, and I think I had in my predictions that 3 teams out of the East were going to make the playoffs. Yep. Now, not so much for the AFC. That's where we're at. So again, updated for me because we did get the Pittsburgh win. 8-6 for me on the week. Ryan 5-9. So not so bad. Not so bad. Let's get to it. Let's go. You know, I got some merch from Fairway 4. Want to make that our giveaway for Get It This Week? Maybe? Cavs? Cavs are rolling. We should do the Cavs. We should do the Cavs. They're rolling. Yeah. Go.
3,000 yards passing in a season, the Las Vegas Raiders.
So it's got to be Derek Carr, right? In a season.
No, 100%.
Because then
And
you
he
go
didn't play
Carson
enough.
Palmer, Raiders, Bengals. It's got to be Derek Carr.
Yes, 100%. We could go Mark Sanchez.
Are you sure he got 3?
Dude,
Three's not all that
Three's a
much, I guess.
cakewalk. It had to have been.
I
I mean, if not, well, it had to be with the team, so not Rodgers, but
yeah.
yeah. I mean,
Okay. All right.
I
yeah,
mean, we could
that's
just do
fine.
Joe Namath.
I don't know if yeah.
Matt, 3,000 is
All right,
cake.
go Sanchez. Go Mark Sanchez. That's fine.
Dude, sold for 5,000 now.
All right. There you go. Got to be Brady. Or Baker. Didn't he do it last year? Probably.
Yeah, I'm just show some love to Bake.
Bake. All right. Carson Palmer, top left.
Bengals, Jets, CJ Uzama.
Ooh, good pull. Jets.
Bengals, Tampa, Giovanni Bernard.
Okay. Then the Jets, Jags. Something's speaking to me there. Oh. I wanted to say Vinny Testaverde, to be honest.
Oh, I
with you.
just touched the mic with my tongue.
Yeah, don't do that. I hit it with my teeth sometimes. Jets, Jags. I want to keep saying Vinny, but I don't know if that's right. Set that aside. We'll come back to it. Okay. All right, Jags quarterbacks that have run through. Blake Bortles. I don't remember if he went to any of those other spots. He might have gone.
Blaine Gabbert? Did he play for Tampa?
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it is Blaine Gabbert.
Did he play for Tampa?
Yeah.
You're positive?
He was the backup, yes.
You're positive?
Yes. Blaine Gabbert is correct. Okay. Yeah. I like the stash.
Raiders, Jaguars. Did Maurice Jones-Drew?
Yeah, he did.
He played for the Raiders?
Yes, he did.
You're positive?
Positive. Yep. It is Maurice Jones-Drew. Done. Nice. All right, Jets, Jags.
I'm kind of cooking today.
You're on it. Jets, Jags. Okay, Allen Robinson never went to the Jets.
Marvin Jones, no.
Allen Hurns, don't think so. Christian Kirk just got to Jacksonville. No.
I don't think Tyler Eifert ever played for the Jets.
I don't think Mark Brunell ever played for the Jets.
You got to get Mark Brunell on the show.
I always
got
got to bring him up. He's a good one to have. All right, yeah. Tyrod doesn't work here. Josh McCown doesn't work here. Colt McCoy doesn't work here.
Leonard Fournette, no.
Leonard. Apparently, they didn't want him in Cincinnati.
Ramsey, no.
Calais Campbell, no.
Paul Posluszny,
Don't
no.
think so. Yannick Ngakoue,
Joe Schobert, no.
no. No. Thought Nick Mangold for a second, but I don't think that's right. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, remember him? No. Braylon Edwards never went down there to Jacksonville. Terrell Pryor, I don't think works there.
Sam Darnold never played in Jacksonville. Gardner Minshew never played in New York. James Robinson, I don't think ever played for the Jets.
No. Greg Zuerlein, go Kickers.
Nah.
I can't. That's going to be a tough one in Jacksonville, Kickers. Okay, Mac Jones just got there. Not that. God, they've all ran through so many quarterbacks. Dude. Did Chad Pennington ever play in Jacksonville?
I don't know.
Fudge. All right, Jets players. Dude. Dearness Johnson, Deshaun Gibson. I'm thinking Browns players that went to Jacksonville. Dearness Johnson, Deshaun Gibson, Paul Kruger made his way down there eventually, but I don't think he ever played for the Jets. Braylon Edwards never went to Jacksonville.
This is tough.
I know. We got a little time here. Like, if I really had to rip one, I would say Vinny Testaverde. Like, I have an answer. I don't know if it's a great answer. Chad Pennington. I know he played in Miami. I want to think he played in Jacksonville, but I don't know. Defensive players. Nope.
Is there any kickers you can think of?
I can't, like Zuerlein for the Jets, Jags. I don't even know their kicker. Josh Scobie or Scoop or whatever. Remember that guy? He was in there. I don't know, Jets, Thomas Morstead. I don't know if he's ever been in Jacksonville.
We're going to have to throw up a prayer.
I mean, the prayer, I think, is
Like, who the Jaguars drafted recently?
I can't even, like... Yeah, I mean, dude, I can't use Portal today. Not today. Vinny Testaverde is what I keep coming back to. I can't think of anything else. And here's the crappy thing. I don't even know if I can picture him truthfully on both of those teams. I'm pretty sure I picture him on the Jets, but that's it.
That doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
What's Sidney Moncrief? Did he ever play for the Jets?
I remember him in Minnesota. That's it. Bro.
Just rip it?
I guess.
I really don't like that answer.
All right.
But, I mean, I ran it. I don't know what else I would put. Darrelle Revis never played for the Jaguars.
No.
Antonio Cromartie.
T.O.
mean, Santonio Holmes.
No, that's a good pull. I didn't think about him. No.
Jamal Adams never played in Jacksonville.
Wait. Where did Jamal Adams start? Seattle.
No, he started in New York.
With the Jets?
Yes.
Then he went to Seattle.
Right.
Now he's somewhere else.
I don't know where he's at now.
Oh, Tennessee. I think he left Tennessee. Yeah, I like that Jamal Adams. Right. I guess, buddy.
All right, Vinny T. Mark Brunell.
I thought so. Vinny went Bucks, Browns, Ravens, Jets, Cowboys, Jets again, Patriots, Panthers.
It was always Mark Brunell. You want to see some other ones?
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Damn it.
Jaguars, Jets, Mark Brunell. Chris Ivory.
Well, that's a deep pull.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Keelan Cole. James Robinson.
Really? I didn't know he went up to New York.
Neither did I.
Do they have kickers on there too? Like you scroll through the whole list? No? Not really?
No, not by.
That's it. We should have got Brunell. That should have been my guess.
I
Vinny.
I'm
not saying it was an easy one.
Still don't even really know who Mark Brunell was.
Green Bay, the Jets, obviously we know now, and Jacksonville. I know him from Jacksonville, and then I remember they went to Green Bay.
All right, well,
That's it.
do you still want to do Wordle?
Yeah, we have to. We got to keep the streak alive. Here we go.
All right.
All right. Trash.
No, we started with that before.
I know. Might be the word today, though. You never know. Point.
Okay. I like that.
Okay.
Anything O-N?
Not with 5 that I can think of. So I think it must end with an.
Only's a word?
I try it. I think it might actually go O-N, like the N part is O-N. Like blank, 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 O-N.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Moron.
Yeah, we can try it.
I feel like a moron. Oh, no, because the O is not there. We know the O is not there.
True.
That's right. I feel like a moron when we do this.
Starts with an N.
Yeah. Nefarious. No, I'm just kidding. What about melon?
Okay. That might play.
That might play. That dog will hunt. All right.
And an L.
So now we know the O goes in the middle, or it starts with an O.
Right. It could start with an O, but I doubt it.
I doubt it.
So we know it's...
The L could go there, but then that looks kind of weird.
We know there's an L somewhere.
Might start with a O.
Think so?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Start with an L. Start with an L. Try L, blank, O, blank, N. No, that doesn't look right either. If we need a word to rip, well, I guess lemon doesn't work because, yeah, melon's right there. You just got to flip those around. Lemon. It's some with an L. L-A.
It ends in LN.
I mean,
Yeah, we're putting
maybe. I can't think of any. I think it's got to start with L. We got one more to rip, too, so even if we come up with another word. Like a word that has nothing to do with what we're doing. We'll just figure out about L and figure out some other ones would be like lard. Lards. Like
What if we did brain?
Yeah, but I don't like not finding out about the L. You know what I mean? What about something SL? Like SL.
Slain?
I mean, I like it just to get some of the other letters in there. But you don't have the O.
Right. Oh, true.
Sloan, that's a name. I don't know if that's a word. Okay. All right. Oh, blown. Blew that one today. What?
Clown.
Oh, clown. Whoa, oh my God, what?
Okay, it could be
It's
flown.
either flown? Oh,
Okay,
Ryan.
hold up. We might be fine.
Yeah,
It's not
It's not
clone. It's not
clone,
relone. It's not
H-J-K.
Yalone. It's not Ulone. I put the
gotta
wrong
be.
one.
It's gotta be.
Or what if it's
No, it wouldn't be another N. It wouldn't be another L. It wouldn't be another O.
gotta be flown?
It's gotta be. It's gotta be flown. Nice.
Holy moly.
Stays alive for yet another day with the immaculate grid. Don't know what to tell you, buddy. All right, you know what I'm going to tell you? I'm going to tell you about time up. Let's jump into it. Head on back. 12th of November. Let's go. All right, let's head on back. We're already midway through November, which is crazy, but here we are, 12th of November. 1 year ago today, we beat the Ravens 33-31. Let's take everybody on back. Second play of the game, Kyle Hamilton, pick 6. Sean Watson started that game. We fight our way back in. Second half, Greg Newsome, pick 6. Kareem Hunt, touchdown. Dustin Hopkins misses the extra point. We are down 31-30. As time expires, he aces a 40-yard field goal. We beat the Ravens 33-31 and improve our record to 6-3 on the season. He missed the extra point on the Greg Newsome pick 6, 34-yard pick 6. Man, what a game that was. They led 24-9 after their opening drive of the third quarter. Then we go Kareem Hunt touchdown. They score a touchdown. Elijah Moore, Greg Newsome pick 6, Dustin Hopkins field goal. We ace it on out.
Yes, sir.
How about that? That's right. We scored a touchdown, Elijah Moore. Okay, we're down 31-24 with 9 minutes to go. The second play of their next drive, Greg Newsome gets the pick 6.
Right.
We're down 31-30 after the missed kick, and then Hopkins gets it done. Bro, the win probability, I wish I could show people. It's like Ravens, Browns. Ravens, Browns.
Yeah.
I remember that game. It was good. And for a lot of people that are Deshaun Watson fans, that was probably the biggest mark. Hey, man, that's second half. Hey, man. Moving down the field.
And then out for the season.
Literally 1 year ago. 1 year ago, I think we can let it go. This day, 2020, was the opening round of the Masters. COVID, it happened. But also, the PlayStation 5 was released this day, 2020. Your Xbox, I'm Xbox. By the way,
I am not Xbox.
your PlayStation?
Yes. Get your facts straight.
Okay, I'll be looking for a new producer come Monday. So I thought you were on Xbox. I was just going to say, what's your gamer tag?
No, we
Don't
talked about this many times.
I thought you were Xbox.
If anybody wants to add me on PlayStation, they can. Young Smid.
Text it to me so I can add you on COD. fire that up.
YUNG_SMID Smid.
Please text me. I'll forget. Because on the COD, it's a different name on Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, my COD one is just Smid, SMID.
Yeah, but then there's like a bunch of numbers after it.
No, you can change it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
But I'm saying to find you, I'm sure there's other people named Smid.
No,
on
I don't
COD.
think they would have let me do it.
Oh really?
I think yeah.
All right. Well, I'll send you mine.
Because I used to be Mr. Smid.
Mine is a little bit more succinct. So like mine's more very individual. I'm the only person that has mine.
You don't know that, do you?
Yeah.
What is it?
MCF 83189.
Oh, because is that your initial?
My initials, my football number, and the weight I wrestled in high school.
That's lame.
Now, I created this when I was in high school, Ryan.
Right, so it should have been even more creative.
MCF 83189.
All right.
You can add me on if you want. Add me on Xbox. You can add me on COD. Ryan, we got to do a co-stream COD. Are you into zombies? You like playing zombies?
Yeah, that's like, I've been grinding it.
Not this week, but maybe like next Thursday night. You know, we could watch Thursday Night Football. You and I do a little COD stream.
I'll be down.
All right, we'll do that. We'll maybe do that next week. We'll figure that out. But anyway, we head on back. This day, 2019, Mike Fiers reveals the Astros were stealing signs for 3 years. I remember him, lefty guy. Didn't he throw like a perfect game or a no-hitter or something like that? And he comes out and he goes, now the Astros were stealing signs for 3 years. Cheating bastards. I don't know why they let him keep that title. It's a disgrace on Rob Manfred. But I guess we move on. Sad one. Stan Lee passed away this day, 2018. I like how they've been able to somehow keep this going of him appearing in Marvel movies some way or another. I love that. His cameos in all the movies were the best, but unfortunately passed away this day, 2018. This day, 2017. You know how it goes for the Browns. They fall to the Lions 38-24. To fall to 0-9 on the season this day, 2017. This day, 2014, Corey Kluber won his first AL Cy Young. Is he getting the Hall of Fame as a multi-time Cy Young winner or no? It's a tough poll, I think.
I think so.
I would think so as well, but I don't know.
That close to a ring.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. I think a ring he would have been in, but I don't know about that one. This day, 2010, Kevin Love went 31-31. 31 points and 31 rebounds. He sets the Timberwolves record for rebounds, and it was the first 30-30 game in the NBA in almost 30 years.
Yeah, that's when he's fat.
Fat Kevin Love was better.
He was.
He was. And I guess he was on Minnesota where he was the only thing going, but I guess that is a little bit different. Speaking of the Cavs, they get their first win in franchise history this day, 1970. We beat Portland 105-103. Cavs started the season 0-10 before they got their first franchise win this day, 1970. This day, 1954, Ellis Island officially closed. It processed over 12 million people who entered the United States at Ellis Island this day, 1954, or closed. How about this one? We go back to 1933. I guess Pennsylvania had some freaky rules back then. Because this day, 1933, both Philadelphia and Pittsburgh played their first football games on a Sunday. Prior to that, Sunday sporting events were outlawed in the state. Something changed and they play their first games on Sundays this day, 1933. Very happy birthday goes out to Al Michaels, former Browns interim coach Terry Robisky, Sammy Sosa, Russell Westbrook, Ryan Gosling, Neil Young, Anne Hathaway, Grace Kelly, and the late, great Cleveland legend, Mr. Les Levine, celebrating birthdays today. We all miss Les very much. All right, 3 for you. Ready to go? 2 movies. Actually, no, 2 TV shows and a movie. We start with a television show debuted this day, 2019.
Okay.
I would say this is one of the first booming streaming television shows.
Stranger Things?
No. That's a good call, and actually it might even be before that.
You?
No. 3 seasons are already in and done, and now there is a feature film coming off of this show. Now, I'm tricking you by saying the TV show comes from a list of feature films. It's in a big universe, but it's carved out its own little niche.
Dog, what?
So this television show is part of a giant universe. Okay. They created the TV show. People
Okay.
love the TV show.
Okay.
And now the TV show will get a movie set within this whole universe in itself.
Yikes. You need to give me a hint. Like,
Yeah,
can't just get it by the year.
It's the first live action series. It's the first live action television series out of this movies. And it sets 5 years after the events of one of the particular films. All right, what is one of the biggest universes in movies?
Marvel.
Close.
DC.
I said I was close with Marvel because they're owned by the same company now.
Star Wars. The Mandalorian.
Correct.
See, the only reason I got tricked up, the reason I got tricked up is because I just realized that you didn't say Netflix. You said streaming, and I just stupidly assumed Netflix.
I said, yeah, Disney Plus. I just said streaming. But yes, I've heard great things. I'm not into Star Wars like that, but obviously Pedro Pascal has got to just be printing money at this point. Plays the Mandalorian.
Bro, his best role, though, Prince Oberyn in Game of Thrones.
Really?
No
Never watched
spoilers,
this, I don't know. I mean, Last of Us for me, and now he's Reed Richards. Like, guys everywhere.
Yeah,
Then that movie with Nicolas Cage, that movie was pretty fun. So, yes, that is correct with Mandalorian. All right, next up, another television show. This was one of the most famous MTV television shows, debuted this day 2012. So it's not Jackass, not Viva La Bam or anything like that. This show actually was borderline perfect timing with a very big scandal in sports surrounding what this television show deals with. It was based on a...
I got it.
You got it?
Yeah, Catfish.
That is correct.
Monte Teo.
Teo is correct.
Did you watch that documentary?
Yeah, but poor fucking guy, man.
Yeah, holy
Everybody,
shit.
dude, he was on list of the most hated athletes.
Yeah.
Now, granted, was he gullible and like, you know, I'm
He
trying to
was,
push something.
like-
I will tell you this. A way time in the past, I was in high school still. There was a girl that I did meet once, so it's not quite a catfish story. And we never dated. We weren't in a relationship, but for 2 months, all we did was text.
Yeah.
I literally only saw her once, got her number. All we did was text back and forth.
Yeah.
And so in an online world back then, I get it. Then you find out that it's the guy, it's the cousin, it's this, it's that. Like, I feel bad for the guy.
When that guy went on
Is it Dr. Phil?
whatever and
Yeah,
like
he's
did
Dr. Phil.
did the voice,
Yeah.
it was crazy. Like they couldn't believe that he made his voice sound like that.
Well, then it got really where it was like
when they said he
somebody
like died, yeah,
right,
and they
they
still
died,
believed it.
and then they
Yeah.
couldn't show up, or he was supposed to meet them coming off the plane.
Yeah.
And then what really got me in that was Manti Te'o having the moment of realization of going, people are going to think I'm an idiot, and like I can't. You know, he tried to basically cover this up by saying like, "Oh, I did meet her. Oh, you did? Oh, okay. Well, then this is like legit." And then he goes, "No, I actually never did, but I had to lie because people were going to think, why would you have an online relationship?"
Right.
You know, sad story. And again, at the time, people were like, "Oh my God," people were making out like Manti Te'o was a bad guy.
I know.
He's gullible. So what? Like,
Yeah.
dude, it was so bad. But the Catfish show, which I'm assuming can't be on TV anymore, right? Is that still a thing?
No, I don't think so.
Here's my thing. I would like to believe. Here's where I'm going with this whole thing. Like, you see these scams, bro. I get these texts, and I'm like, spam, delete. You know, I get this email. My big thing is I get a lot of emails about Geek Squad invoices for hundreds of dollars, and you freak out. Oh my God, that's not me. And you click on it. I know that that's bullcrap. So I just swipe it and I move on. But I think about the older generation that can get had by this very clearly. What is our generation going to get had by? AI's got to be the answer.
Yeah.
Right? Like in a digital world and crypto and getting into bank accounts, like I think about that probably more than I should. Where I think I'm on the up, and I give credit to my parents and my in-laws. I think they are very up on it. for their generation. And there's obviously not everything that they know, but they don't get had. Like, they know what to be on the lookout for, things like that. But I do think so much about the future, about how bad that's going to get with scams and stealing stuff. You know, dude, they got the robots. They got this. They got... Never mind. Did you read that Lamar Odom story?
No, what?
This is a level of desperation. They caught him, cover the kids' ears, at a sex robot shop. He made one that looks exactly like Khloe Kardashian.
Yeah, don't surprise me.
That's creepy, Ryan. Let it go.
You need a lot of metal for that ass.
That they like when they looked at the whole thing, they're like, "That's Khloe Kardashian." And apparently he was like straight up with this company, like make it look like Khloe. That's creepy.
Yeah, he's trying to get freaky.
That's creepy. That movie, Her, where he's talking to the computer the whole time, like, it is what it is. Sorry, we got off on catfish here. All right, final one. We go back to 2008. No, wait. No, maybe not. Hang on. Yeah, I don't know why. I had this written down, but now that I'm on their Wikipedia, these dates are not correct. So we'll skip it, unless you really want it. But it's not true. Whatever. All right, we'll skip it. No worries on that. Because we already got movies to get to. Let's get to the bracket in honor of Leo DiCaprio's birthday. So I thought about asking you this question. I didn't know. Are we doing the best movie or his best role?
Right. So that, I think we're just, I mean.
I thought, what did you, I don't care. I'm down to do either one.
I just put it as movie, but that is different. You're right. Because like
the role is different than the movie.
I feel like we should.
What do you want to do? It's
I
up
think
to
we
you.
should just make a movie.
Let's just make a movie. All right, pull it up. Show everybody the bracket. Here's what we got. 16. It was Leo's birthday yesterday. So here we go with the 16. Group 1.
Yes.
Sorry. No, you're good. You're good. Ryan is a perfectionist, which I appreciate because I am not. So you make things look good. If I make nothing on this show good, to be honest with you. Ryan does everything.
See, I am a perfectionist.
I know you are. Okay.
All right. Good enough.
That's good enough. All right, pull it up. All right, Inception, The Revenant, Gilbert Grape, J. Edgar, Group 1. Group 2, Shutter Island's going to get my vote. Wolf of Wall Street. I couldn't see that. Okay, sorry. Catch Me If You Can, Romeo. See, Romeo and Juliet, I like that one a lot. Shutter Island's your answer there, though. What, Catch Me If You Can?
No. So for Group 1, for me,
Michael Revenant.
And it's between Inception and Revenant. I haven't seen J. Edgar. I haven't seen
J. Edgar. Gilbert Grapes.
See, I think I really like the idea of Inception, but The Revenant was so good. I think I'm gonna go with The Revenant. And then Group 2, listen,
Bro.
Shutter Island's fantastic.
It's so good.
Wolf of Wall Street is also really damn good, and you see Margot Robbie naked.
Vote as you please. Do whatever you want. And I'll be following Lamar Odom, and then I'll take your Margot Robbie model. Group 3. Well, we'll get to those coming up. I'm going to go Departed there. Although I do like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then Group 4, Gangs of New York. What are we doing?
Yeah.
No question there.
Yeah, I'm going to go Revenant and...
I'll go Shutter Island. Shutter Island.
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo voting Shutter Island.
Mark Ruffalo's
All
dope.
right, go with that. All right, vote at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there. Got everything cooking Tuesday night. What do we got? Josh Maria Cribbs, Enter the Jungle with James Rapine and crew. So check that out. Appreciate your support. We very much appreciate our friends at Fairway Ford. You're looking for that new ride, that new F-150. Go check them out. Tell them we sent you. They're going to help you out. They're going to hook you up. FairwayFordOhio.com. Appreciate them. Appreciate you. We'll talk to you tomorrow. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.